Do you car sing? Or are you a singer?
I car sing to stuff I like, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't try to take over and be the lead vocalist. I'm more kind of like just a background singer.
What's your go-to car song to this belt?
Anything Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
I mean, anything. Any and all Chris Stapleton songs.
Was this your first Jazz Fest experience?
It was not.
No.
We had seen, me and my wife, I was an assistant here. We saw the Eagles, and we saw, I believe, Bruce Priest.
That's a pretty good 1-2 punch.
Yeah, and a lot of other acts too. It does relate to Networkers that we popped in on. We were here before. But yeah, we went to Stapleton. Saw Widespread Panic, the Beach Boys last week, and then we got the Rollins.
Yeah, I've heard that might be might be on the agenda.
Yeah, I heard.
I've heard quite a bit about them coming here. What does Jon Sumrall do in this city to get away from football?
Go watch my kids play sports or do their events with their schools, and then just really, I like to just kind of hang out at my house and go around town. I think one of the great things about New Orleans is, you can get out and go to different restaurants or venues or Pelicans games or whatever, and just kind of relax and be. And people don't they actually say, "Hey, coach, can't wait to watch all the season," or whatever. But at the same time, people have been really cool about allowing me to just go enjoy events and be a part of things. And I think there's a festival every weekend too, right? So it's like you got French Quarter Fest, then you got Jazz Fest, then you have this festival. And so, but at the end of the day, my favorite thing to do is just family stuff. My kids, watch them play sports and hang out at the house. And we work plenty, but when you get down to be around your family, you get to that.
What is Jon Sumrall like watching a child play sports?
That's a great question. My kids, I'm about as most relaxed,
Really?
behind the scenes, supportive, encouraging for all. I'm not super intense at my kids' games. I've been asked a handful of times, will you help us coach? The answer is always a very quick no. I would not be a good coach and dad, because once I would cross the line, probably my intensity would go about 10 notches. I sit in the outfield at baseball or softball games and don't sit behind the dugout where the parents are. Flag football, I kind of have my son, he had 2 games last Friday, and I kind of sit off in the corner. Last Friday night, he had 2 tutties and 2 safeties in his first game that he got. So they won by one of his 2 safeties. He recorded. He played a big time game last Friday, but I'm pretty laid back. In my kids' games, I think kids sports, it's about learning to compete, learning to be a great teammate, and then learning the sport. And so I always encourage them to give your best effort, that you compete at a high level, or you're great to encourage your teammates, and did you learn anything about the game today? Did you learn how to maybe do something better or different or whatever? So, but my kids' sports games, I'm probably the most laid back person there. I'm really, because there was a sign at one of the parks my kids played at somewhere we lived before that said, "There will be no college scholarships given out after his game." So I always got a kick out of that being a college coach. I was like, every parent needs to understand this, that this is not life or death here.
If you were not coaching football, if you were out of sports totally, what would you be doing?
I think I would probably be in something competitive. I got my degree in finance. I don't get hit the hard reset now and get into this on a career shift at this point. But I think either some sort of investment lane, I was always intrigued with Wall Street, because I just think no different than a coach. You see the guys that work on Wall Street, they work crazy hours, they grind, they work extremely hard, they're competitive, they're driven. So I think maybe that, or I've always been intrigued by real estate, commercial real estate, that lane as well. But I love what I do, and I can't imagine doing anything else. But if I had to do something else, I would think one of those two fields would be something that would interest me.
What's your favorite thing to do in this city?
Oh my goodness. Where do you start?
How many pounds have you added since?
Well, that's a great question. I moved here at 230. The highest I've been was probably about 247, and I'm back to about 234.
That's not bad.
So I've reeled it back in. When you're in the transitional phase, hotel living, recruiting, December, January, I put the weight on there, and that was partially being back in New Orleans, partially being in the hotel every night in a different city recruiting, it seemed like. But I've gotten back into a good routine. If you can't, just like there's a lot of great food to eat, there's also a lot of great things to do exercise-wise. I mean, for me, I could often be seen in the mornings before I practice, running through campus, running through Ottoman, and running back through campus before we practice.
It's a great 4-mile loop right there.
It is. So from the Wilson Center to Ottoman, and if you go around I'm basically a 5K every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so 3.11. So from the Wilson Center around the big dirt loop to Ottoman, not the paved track.
Oh yeah.
You get back to the front. That gets you to about 3.11 right there, and then you get back to the front of Audubon. Then I'll walk back sometimes to the Wilson Center from there, but pulling up not far from the levee. There's so many great places to exercise, but man, we're eating like the great restaurants in the city. You can't even, if you name one, you have to name them all, and there's too many to the list. Like you said, the festivals, the events. I think the city of New Orleans just tries to come up with as many different reasons to have a party possible. And I've said it before, if you can't have fun in New Orleans, there's probably something wrong with you. There's always something to do here, and a lot of fun things, the culture, it's just never dull.
I've been in my transitional phase since July of 2021. Since I got here.
Yeah, you're still transitioning.
It's a slow phase.
Yeah. I get it. I respect that. Yeah, I think you have all types of transitions living here.
In many ways.
Lifestyle changes they come and go.
So you're running before practice.
Yeah, so when we practice,
practice is pretty early.
We practice early. So like during February, I run at like 5 a.m. During February, and then March, April, spring ball, I was pushing it back to about 6.
Okay.
And then now that we're into the summer, it's kind of dependent upon the schedule. Now, the earlier the better, because you want to beat the heat. But my schedule dictates really when I get to run. So February, I got to go early, because once we start workouts or team activities, I'm kind of like, I'm done for the day I'm in. But as the summer comes, it's based upon recruits coming on campus or a camp or whatever may be happening. So I'll run at noon. If I got to run at lunch, I prefer early.
Would you be an early riser, coach?
Yes.
So?
Yeah. I get more work done, or more thoughts kind of maybe put down on the paper. Like when I'm running, I carry my phone and I type notes in that come to my thought process about things that we need to maybe adjust or sort of recalibrate or tweak. And so here we go. It's my running path right now. Beautiful Audubon Park. I love the mornings. I think I have the best thoughts in the morning, I have the best reflection in the morning, I have the best opportunity to really just kind of think through some processes that maybe we need to refine as a staff, and I just have the most clarity then, I feel like.
How can you type while running?
Slow down. I don't run quite as fast. I don't run real fast anymore anyways. My fastest mile is usually going to be anywhere between like 8:50 and 9:10. That's like on a great run. My normal mile is probably more like 9:50 to 10 minutes. And then if I'm typing, I'm slowing down to an 11-minute mile to put something in my notes on my phone.
I can't even drive a mile in 10 minutes. And you can text and write notes down your phone while running.
Well, it depends on where you are in the city, what's going on. You might not be able to drive that far that fast. I slowed down to about 11-minute mile when I'm typing some notes. So my run today, I had plenty of notes typing as we were working through some recruiting stuff. So, but yeah, definitely have to get the exercise in. People ask me all the time too, they're like, man, you love running, don't you? I'm like, no, I actually hate it. I just do it so I can eat what I want to eat and not have to buy a new wardrobe.
Yeah, you're going to eat what you want anyway, but then the running offsets it.
Correct.
Yeah, that's how the body works.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
That's what I hope.
You can't out-train your diet, though. That's the one thing I tell our players all the time. Like, I don't care how much you exercise. You cannot out-train your diet.
What are you knocking down, say, after a game that just, it doesn't matter the nutritional value? What's your guilty pleasure?
Well, it starts with bourbon usually. So,
the liquid diet.
Yeah, like I'm usually good for at least 1 or 2 bourbon drinks after a game. When I get to the house, that's pretty standard. I like Weller, I like blends, so that's standard. But really, whatever my wife has from the tailgate, because we don't tailgate as coaches, so whatever shows back up, it may be wings or dip or pizza or whatever. But I love playing at home because you get to go play a home game. Obviously, it's fun to play a game at home, and then I like getting to go home and celebrate family and staff or whoever. We always end up. It never failed. It seems like we're 100 people show up at my house after the game after the big win. So we work really hard to win games. We celebrate those wins. We have a good time afterwards. But I'll eat whatever shows up at my house. I don't care. Here we are pulling up to Yeoman.
Not bad here.
Yeah, not a bad view right here. A lot of work still going on.
Yeah,
a lot of work happening the rest of it.
Quite a construction site for a long time here.
a lot of improvements happening.